Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Friday, March the 29th. The year's 2024. Let's talk trading. Weekly wrap-up. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And just a reminder, as we are trading on the last trading day of the month of March, risk management. Never lose more on any one single trade than you are willing to lose. Don't let one single trade take you out of the game. So, if we take a look at the week, we can see we are up 45 pips above the open. We're 28 off the high and 54 off the low. Now, when you add those numbers together, the distance from the high and the low, you can see here we don't have much of a range. And just for those of you maybe just tuning in, all the open gaps have filled this week. Now, if we take a look at the monthly chart, you can see we're within the candle body of the previous month. You can also see that we broke out of the previous month's high, but we're now back below that level. For the week, we are inside the opening range. For the month, we are, let's see, the opening range, we are inside that opening range. And for the year, we are also inside that opening range. So for the week, for the month, for the year, we are inside the opening range. And if you're wondering what's the opening range, it would be the first candle of the period, the high and the low. So the first candle of the year, first candle of the month, and first candle of the week. Notice here on the week, we did break out to the upside twice, to the downside once. For the month, we broke out of the upside once and the downside once. And for the year this week, we actually broke out of the downside 3 times. One time we had a pretty nice breakout, but the other two were just minor breaks, but they were breaks nonetheless. And we look at the year, 84 pips below the yearly open, 257 off of that high, and 118 off of the low. And looking at the inside bar action, you can see here with the blue and gray, we had a lot of inside bar action because price just doesn't seem to want to move. In fact, the 4 days ago, Monday, that was also an inside bar. And you can see here we broke out of the inside bar for the month and for the daily here yesterday, Thursday. And as far as that inside bar for the week, you can see we broke out of the high on Tuesday and on Thursday. But once again, prices just came right back down to that range. And if you scrunch the chart up, you can see here we're really stuck in this range here. I mean, we're pretty much stuck from that inside bar from 2 months ago. You can just see it plain as day. We had red news today, but the pound only has 33 pips. In fact, I was just before I cranked up my video software, I was scanning around a couple other forums, and somebody said that the quarter range on the pound is the lowest in history, an all-time lowest range for the quarter. So I guess we take a so let's see, we've got 2, 57 off the high, 118 off the low. So that's what, 475 pips of range for the quarter. That's really hardly anything when you think about it. But I mean, you've seen it in these ranges. These ranges have pretty much gone away. And so some people think that people are, now trading metals possibly, or they're trading crypto. It's kind of, that's where everybody's going and trading. And we look at the day. You can see here we tried breaking out of the buy zone here in the Asian session. Then in the London session, it barely broke out through the short zone. Only looks like maybe a pip or two. What's that low for? Oh, that doesn't show the low for the day. But let's look at the candle here. Yeah, it's basically a pip. Nothing to write home about. But you can see within the last hour or so, we did break through, and we've got a nice, maybe 10 pip profit to be had. Price is pulling back. Once again, you can see how we are pretty much stuck in a range. And because of a 32.8 pip range, there's no rat trades to be had. Now, Bambino Flex indicator said go long near the, and the pivot trading plan said go long near the pivot. So you can see here, it's finally paying off, coming up above that pivot. H4 pivot, looks like it took out one from 1, 2, 3, 4 H4s ago. And you see that pivot got taken out, and that one got taken out now. So once again, you know, the how often we have missed pivots on these, sometimes it's few and far between, but we do have some missed pivots. There's the H4. Looking at the daily, you can see here we've got one missed pivot so far. It happened on the 22nd. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left over from last year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 from 2022, and there's one from 2021. So once again, plan for these pivots to be taken out. If you're positioned right, and if you have enough money in your account, you can sometime ride these out. But as you can see, some of them are just going to be missed. And you can see there's some, the misses sometimes really aren't that bad, but you can see the distance we are away from some of these it's pretty big. And when price isn't ranging, these pivots won't be taken out anytime soon. Except we took out the weekly and we took out the month. So pivots have been paying off pretty much this year so far. And the wick zone, in and out of the lower wick zone, now we're into the upper wick zone, and we'll see if we come out. Yeah, I would think chances are we're going to come out, but you know, once again, you've got over a 70% chance historically price will come out of that wick zone. On the range, only 82 pips for the week, which puts that at the 0 percentile over the last 12 weeks. I mean, that's just awful. Let me see something here. Oh, I wonder which one this is. Show high low, my period current. I think we should, instead of doing 12 bars, let's see. We're doing weekly. So that would be, I guess that would be about, what, 12 bars for the quarter? Maybe 13 bars. So I think I'll just leave that alone for now. But that is just 82 pips. That just tells me something almost big almost has to happen next week, because you see here we had that 100, which was the lowest, and in the next week we shot up. We more than doubled that weekly range. So I would say possibly next week that might happen, considering I do believe we'll have NFP next week, non-farm payroll. So we'll just have to sit back and see what happens. Price action chart, once again, horizontal lines. In fact, there's a trader, talked to him on the phone and then still an email, and he was asking me, he's a equity trader, and he was asking me about this, that, and the other, and I keep saying this, it's horizontal lines. I mean, I've got these horizontal lines on the chart, and it's like you just go in the direction when you hit that first horizontal line. And in a way, it doesn't really matter where you place these lines. I proved that, oh God, it was over a decade ago, where in the Pal Talk chat room that I used to run, I just had 3 people call out random numbers, just give me a number between 00 and 99 inclusive, and I wrote an indicator, and I just plotted those horizontal lines on the chart, and ending. So let's just say 39 was one of them. So we had 125.39, 126.39, 127.39, etc. And it's just like, if it hits that line, whatever the candle color is, you go in that direction where it's crossing. And it was like, traded that, I don't know how many days or whatever, but it worked, And it's funny because, of course, there's that, contingent of traders that want to prove somebody wrong, and they wrote all these EAs, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, they're trying to tell me it didn't work. I go, well, I don't trade 24 hours a day. I trade during the London/New York session. I might be up maybe an hour before New York opens, so I'm trading during that time period. And if I take 1 or 2 trades and I make my goal for the day, I'm done. Why would I keep trading? Why would I risk the profit? And that's one of the things that traders need to understand. I believe, if you have that daily goal, or even a trade goal, if you say you want to make 2 pips on the trade and it goes up 2 pips, especially if it stops, you take the money off the table. Now, of course, it could rocket in your direction, or it could, just sit there and slowly go in your direction. But the point is, when you have a trade open, you're at risk. The only time you're not at risk is when you don't have an open trade. And so if you're hitting your mark where you want to be on that trade, and things slow down or stop, or it was tough getting there, just get out. I mean, a lot of times I'll get in a trade and say I went long here at 25, and it takes me down here, and I just tough it out. Then it comes back and it moves up, and maybe I take 2 pips, and then I kick myself because it ran another 10. Yeah, that happens. But the thing is, this could have kept going the wrong way, and I don't know. So, but that happens. So if my goal is 2 pips, I take the 2 pips, especially if I've been underwater for a while. But, if this ran to 27 and 28, 29, and it was just moving, oh yeah, I'd wait till it stopped. And then if it starts to go back the other way, I take my money off the table. So chances are maybe I would have taken my money off the table here. But, that's hairy hindsight. So before a bunch of people go, oh, that's hairy hindsight, let me just say it and let that be that. And you can see here, range by month, 318. Just nothing to write home about. Look at that. So, fellow traders, the fastest 15 minutes in trading's just about over. Thanks for watching. And I'm going to wish you all a fun and safe weekend. I hope you had a profitable day, week, month, and year so far. And when you come back next quarter, next month, I want you to always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.